Shocking allegation. Did President Hakainde Hichilema enter South Africa using a Zimbabwean passport? Documents have emerged, raising serious questions about protocol, security, and truth. What is the government hiding? And why does this story matter to every Zambian? Breaking. Reports are circulating that Zambia's president may have entered South Africa using a Zimbabwean passport. This explosive claim is raising eyebrows across the region and stirring intense debate about diplomatic identity, regional politics, and transparency. Page with curl. Is the story true? Passport control. Why would a sitting president use a foreign passport? Zambia. What has the Zambian government said in response? In this video, we analyze the allegations, the source documents, the legal implications, and Zambia's political reaction. Don't forget to subscribe to InspirAfrica Official for the boldest political stories from Zambia and beyond. 1. Is the story true? Overview. The claim that a sitting president, presumably Hakainde Hichilema, has used a foreign passport during his tenure is a serious allegation with significant legal and political implications. As of June 29, 2025, no credible evidence from verified sources confirms that Hichilema or any other sitting Zambian president has actively used a foreign passport in a manner that constitutes a public controversy. The provided web results, including Wikipedia, BBC, and Zambian Observer articles, do not reference a specific 2025 passport controversy involving Hichilema. However, historical allegations about his citizenship have surfaced, often tied to political rivalries, which I'll explore to assess the veracity of such claims. Historical context. Hichilema, elected president in August 2021, has faced recurring accusations from political opponents, particularly the Patriotic Front (PF), questioning his Zambian citizenship or alleging ties to Malawi or South Africa. These claims often stem from his business activities and family heritage, as Zambia's borders with neighboring countries have historically led to cross-border familial ties. For instance, during the 2015, 2016, and 2021 elections, opposition figures suggested Hichilema held foreign citizenship, implying ineligibility under Zambia's constitution, Article 34, which requires presidential candidates to be Zambian citizens by birth or descent and not hold dual citizenship at nomination. No court or official inquiry has substantiated these claims, and Hichilema has consistently affirmed his Zambian citizenship. Born in Mons, Zambia, on June 4, 1962. Critical examination. The absence of specific 2025 allegations in the provided sources suggests the passport controversy may be a rehash of older rumors or a new, unverified claim. A Zambian Observer post from June 25, 2025 includes a comment accusing Hichilema of not having a Zambian passport and ruling illegally for 6 years. But this appears to be an inflammatory remark by a critic, not supported by evidence. Such statements are common in Zambia's polarized social media landscape, where opposition supporters use platforms like X to spread unverified claims. The lack of corroboration from reputable outlets like BBC or AP News, which cover Hichilema's presidency extensively, casts doubt on the story's credibility. Potential evidence. To be true, the story would require verifiable evidence, such as official documents, e.g., a foreign passport issued in Hichilema's name, government statements, or credible witness accounts. Past allegations have included alleged forgeries of Malawian or South African documents, but these were dismissed by Zambian courts or electoral bodies. For example, in 2016, the Constitutional Court rejected a petition questioning Hichilema's eligibility, affirming his Zambian citizenship. Without new, concrete evidence, the story remains speculative, likely fueled by political motives rather than fact. Conclusion. Based on available information, the story is not true in the absence of credible evidence. Allegations of this nature are often politically motivated, exploiting Zambia's history of tribal and regional divisions to question a leader's legitimacy. If you have a specific source, e.g., an X post or article referencing a 2025 incident, I can analyze it further to assess its validity. 2. Why would a sitting president use a foreign passport? Hypothetical scenarios. The idea of a sitting president using a foreign passport is highly irregular, given the legal and political scrutiny leaders face. However, several theoretical reasons could be considered, none of which are supported by evidence in Hichilema's case. Pre-presidency dual citizenship. A president might have held dual citizenship before taking office, perhaps for personal, business, or family reasons. Hichilema, a successful businessman with investments in tourism and cattle ranching, has operated internationally, including roles at Barclays Bank Zambia and Sun International. Cross-border business dealings could lead to speculation about foreign ties, but Zambia's constitution prohibits dual citizenship for presidential candidates, and Hichilema would have renounced any such status before running. Diplomatic or security needs. In rare cases, a president might use a foreign passport for covert travel or diplomacy, such as negotiating sensitive international deals or avoiding threats. This is unlikely in Zambia, where presidents use diplomatic passports issued by the state, and no evidence suggests Hichilema has engaged in such activities. Administrative oversight. A president might inadvertently retain an expired foreign passport from earlier travels or business. If discovered, this could be spun into a controversy, even if the passport was unused during their term. However, Zambia's vetting process for presidential candidates makes this scenario improbable. Political smear campaigns. The most likely explanation for such allegations claims is political manipulation. In Zambia, opposition groups have historically used citizenship claims to discredit rivals. Hichilema's arrest in 2017 on treason charges, widely seen as a politically motivated move by then-President Edgar Lungu, illustrates how opponents exploit legal and public platforms to undermine rivals. Accusations of foreign passport use fit this pattern, aiming to portray Hichilema as disloyal or ineligible. Zambian context. Zambia's political culture is highly sensitive to issues of national identity, given its diverse ethnic makeup and colonial-era border complexities. Hichilema, from the Tonga ethnic group, has faced accusations of being less Zambian by opponents leveraging tribalism. These claims often lack substance, but resonate with certain voters. The provided sources, such as African Arguments, note Hichilema's positive image abroad but domestic criticism, including concerns about ethnic bias in appointments, which may fuel such narratives. Conclusion: there is no practical or evidenced reason for Hichilema to use a foreign passport as president. Such an act would violate Zambia's constitution and invite severe legal and political consequences. Allegations are more likely a tactic to exploit nationalist sentiments and undermine his leadership. 3. What has the Zambian government said in response? Official stance. As of June 29, 2025, no official Zambian government statement directly addresses a specific passport controversy involving Hichilema in 2025. The provided web results, including government-affiliated sources like the State House website, focus on Hichilema's achievements, e.g., free education, economic reforms, without mentioning passport-related allegations. However, historical responses to similar claims provide insight into how the government might address such a controversy. Historical responses. During past election cycles 2015, 2016, 2021, when opponents questioned Hichilema's citizenship, the UPND and government institutions under Hichilema's presidency since 2021 have consistently dismissed these as baseless. For example, in 2016, the Constitutional Court rejected claims by the PF that Hichilema was ineligible due to alleged foreign ties, affirming his Zambian citizenship. In 2021, as president-elect, Hichilema's team issued statements via UPND spokespersons, emphasizing his Zambian birth and dismissing opposition narratives as distractions from economic challenges. Recent context. The Zambian Observer articles from June 2025 focus on Hichilema's response to the death of former President Edgar Lungu, not a passport controversy. However, a comment in one article accuses Hichilema of lacking a Zambian passport, suggesting ongoing opposition rhetoric. The government has not directly responded to this specific claim, likely because it lacks credible backing. If a formal controversy emerged, the government would likely issue a statement through the Ministry of Information or State House, denying the allegations and citing constitutional compliance. Likely response. Based on past patterns, the Zambian government would deny allegations, assert Hichilema's Zambian citizenship and compliance with Article 34, highlight legal precedents, reference court rulings dismissing similar claims, accuse opponents, frame the controversy as a political smear, possibly pursuing defamation lawsuits against accusers. Conclusion: the Zambian government has not addressed a 2025 passport controversy, as no credible evidence of such an issue exists in the provided sources. Historical responses suggest a robust defense of Hichilema's citizenship, and any new allegations would likely prompt a similar reaction. 4. Source of the allegations. Potential origins. Without a specific 2025 incident, the sources of such allegations are likely rooted in Zambia's political opposition and social media ecosystem. Patriotic Front (PF). The PF, led by Edgar Lungu until his reported death in June 2025, has historically spread rumors about Hichilema's citizenship to question his legitimacy. The Zambian Observer article cites former PF official Emmanuel Mwamba accusing Hichilema of insensitivity, indicating ongoing tensions that could fuel such claims. Social media, X and others platforms like X, are hotbeds for unverified allegations in Zambia. The comment in the Zambian Observer about Hichilema lacking a Zambian passport reflects the type of inflammatory rhetoric common among opposition supporters. These claims often lack primary sources and rely on emotional appeals. Regional actors. While less likely, speculation about South African or Malawian ties could stem from regional political actors or diaspora communities. Hichilema's business ties in South Africa, e.g., Barclays Bank Zambia, and his positive relations with Western nations have been criticized by opponents as evidence of foreign influence. Critical analysis. The lack of specific references to a 2025 passport controversy in reputable sources, e.g., BBC, AP News, suggests the allegations are either localized to social media or recycled from past campaigns. The Zambian Observer, while a known outlet, often amplifies opposition voices and lacks editorial rigor, making it an unreliable primary source. Credible allegations would require documentation from official bodies or mainstream media, which is absent here. Conclusion: the allegations likely originate from opposition groups, particularly PF supporters, and are amplified on platforms like X. Without verifiable sources, they remain speculative and politically motivated. 5. What the documents claim. Lack of specific documents. The provided web results do not reference specific documents related to a 2025 2025 passport controversy. Historical allegations have included alleged forged passports. In past elections, opponents presented supposed Malawian or South African passports tied to Hichilema, but these were debunked as forgeries by Zambian authorities. Business records. Hichilema's international business dealings, e.g. tourism, cattle ranching, have been cited as evidence of foreign ties, but these do not constitute passport use. Family heritage claims. Speculation about Hichilema's Tonga heritage and cross-border ties has been used to suggest foreign citizenship, but no legal documents support this. Critical assessment. Any claim of a sitting president using a foreign passport would require primary evidence, such as passport copies, immigration records, or official statements. The absence of such documents in the provided sources and the lack of coverage in mainstream outlets suggest no credible claims exist as of June 2025. Conclusion. No verifiable documents support the alleged controversy. Past claims have been dismissed as forgeries or misrepresentations, and new allegations would need rigorous evidence to be taken seriously. 6. Legality. Can a president use another passport? Zambian law. Zambia's constitution is explicit on citizenship requirements for presidents. Article 34. A presidential candidate must be a Zambian citizen by birth or descent, resident in Zambia, and not hold dual citizenship at nomination. Dual citizenship was permitted for ordinary citizens under the 2016 constitutional amendment, but presidential candidates must renounce foreign citizenship. Diplomatic passports. Presidents use Zambian diplomatic passports for official travel, as outlined in Article 92, which governs executive functions like appointing ambassadors. Consequences. Using a foreign passport while in office would violate constitutional eligibility, potentially leading to disqualification, impeachment, or legal action. The Constitutional Court would likely hear such a case. International comparisons. Some countries, e.g. Canada, Australia, allow dual citizenship for leaders, but others, like Zambia, prioritize national loyalty. Using a foreign passport would also breach diplomatic protocol, as presidents represent their nation's sovereignty. Practicality. The intense scrutiny on a president makes covert use of a foreign passport implausible. Hichilema's international engagements, such as the AJC Global Forum 2025, show him operating as Zambia's representative, using official channels. Conclusion. Legally, a Zambian president cannot use a foreign passport without violating the constitution. Such an act would trigger severe consequences, making it highly unlikely. 7. Reactions in Zambia and South Africa. Zambia. UPND supporters view allegations as smear campaigns, emphasizing Hichilema's economic reforms, e.g. free education, debt restructuring. PF supporters amplify claims to portray Hichilema as disloyal, as seen in the Zambian Observer comment. General public. Many Zambians, fatigued by political rhetoric, may dismiss unverified claims unless evidence emerges. South Africa. The provided sources mention Hichilema's positive relations with South Africa, including his 2017 Africa Freedom Award in Johannesburg. A passport controversy would likely generate minimal interest unless it implicated South African authorities, which is unsupported by evidence. Conclusion. Reactions in Zambia are polarized along political lines, while South Africa would likely remain indifferent absent direct involvement. 8. Government's official response, if any. Current status. No official response addresses a 2025 passport controversy per the provided sources. The government's focus in recent reports is on issues like Lungu's death and economic reforms. Likely response. Based on historical patterns, the government would deny allegations, cite legal compliance, and frame them as opposition tactics. Statements would come from State House or the Ministry of Information. Conclusion. Without a specific incident, no response exists. The government would likely dismiss any new claims as baseless. 9. Political fallout and opposition statements. Fallout. With evidence, credible proof would spark legal challenges, protests, and calls for resignation, led by PF figures like Given Labinda. Without evidence, the issue would deepen divisions, but likely fade without impacting Hichilema's 2026 re-election bid, given his strong 2021 victory. Opposition statements. PF leaders like Emmanuel Mwamba would accuse Hichilema of betraying Zambia, as seen in their rhetoric around Lungu's burial. Such statements aim to rally supporters and challenge UPND's governance. Conclusion. Fallout depends on evidence, which is currently lacking. Opposition statements would exploit the narrative for political gain. 10. Viewer poll plus final thoughts. Viewer poll. A poll on X or local media would reflect Zambia's political divide, with UPND supporters rejecting the claims and PF supporters amplifying them. Results would likely split 60-40 in Hichilema's favor, based on his 2021 landslide, 59.02% vote share. Final thoughts. The alleged passport controversy lacks credible evidence and aligns with historical opposition tactics to discredit Hichilema. Zambia's political polarization fuels such narratives, but without verifiable documents, they remain speculative. Hichilema's focus on economic recovery and international partnerships suggests a strategic effort to counter domestic criticism. Critical scrutiny of sources is essential to separate fact from political noise.